Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're counting down 10 of the best Rolex watches money can buy, and few conversations in the watch world carry quite the same weight as this one. Rolex is more than a watch brand. It is the most recognized luxury name on the planet, a symbol of achievement, craftsmanship, and enduring value that has remained consistent for over a century. But beyond the prestige and the waiting lists, Rolex makes genuinely extraordinary timepieces, engineered to a standard that few competitors ever match, refined generation after generation with a quiet, relentless perfectionism that defines the house. Whether you're drawn to the tool watch heritage of the Submariner, the horological complexity of the Skydweller, or the motorsport legend of the Daytona, every watch on this list tells a remarkable story. Let's get into it. Number 10. Rolex Air King 11/16/900. The Rolex Air King 11/16/900 is one of the most distinctive and underappreciated references in the current Rolex catalog. A watch with deep roots in aviation history and a bold, unapologetic design that divides opinion and commands genuine loyalty in equal measure. The Air King was first introduced in the 1940s as a tribute to the RAF pilots who flew during the Second World War, and the current 11/16/900 honors that heritage with a 40mm oyster case, a striking black dial featuring a mix of Arabic numerals at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, and Rolex's iconic yellow, gold, and green seconds hand, a nod to the brand's superlative chronometer certification. The caliber 3131 movement inside features a parachrome hairspring for improved resistance to shocks and magnetic fields, a feature directly inherited from the Milgauss. The Air King's polarizing dial layout is precisely what makes it special. In a lineup of broadly conservative Rolex designs, this one has genuine personality. The Rolex Air King 11/16/900 retails for approximately $7,600 USD. Number 9. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41 is the purest expression of what Rolex is. Stripped of complications, sports bezels, and category-specific identity, leaving nothing behind but the essential Rolex proposition: a flawlessly made, beautifully finished, perpetually accurate mechanical watch in the iconic oyster case. The OP41 is the reference that watch enthusiasts point to when they want to explain what Rolex quality actually means. Because with nothing to hide behind, the case finishing, the dial execution, and the movement performance have to speak entirely for themselves. And they do. The vivid dial colors, lacquered in shades of coral red, turquoise blue, yellow, and yellow oyster steel, caused considerable excitement when introduced, bringing a freshness and accessibility to the collection that resonated far beyond the typical Rolex buyer. The caliber 3230 movement offers a 70-hour power reserve and Rolex's own chronergy escapement for exceptional efficiency. Simple, perfect, and endlessly wearable. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41 retails for approximately $6,150 USD. Number 8. Rolex Datejust 41 112/6/300. The Rolex Datejust 41 is arguably the most important watch Rolex has ever made. Introduced in 1945 as the world's first self-winding waterproof chronometer wristwatch with an automatically changing date display, the Datejust defined what a luxury everyday watch could be, and 70 years later it still defines that category better than almost anything else. The 12/6/300 in stainless steel with its smooth bezel and Jubilee or oyster bracelet options strikes a careful balance between the Datejust's dressy heritage and the robust oyster construction that makes it genuinely practical for daily wear. The fluted bezel variant adds formality, the smooth bezel keeps things versatile. The caliber 3235 movement, one of Rolex's finest, offers 70 hours of power reserve, a parachrome hairspring, and Rolex's patented chronergy escapement for long-term precision. Available in an almost overwhelming variety of dial configurations and materials, the Datejust 41 is the Rolex for everyone, and the one that rarely leaves the wrist once it goes on. The Rolex Datejust 41 26/300 retails for approximately $9,150 USD. Number 7. Rolex Explorer 12427CO. The Rolex Explorer 12427CO is a watch born from one of the most dramatic moments in human history, The 1953 first ascent of Mount Everest by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, both of whom wore Rolex watches on their wrists at the summit. That founding story gave the explorer a DNA of adventure, resilience, and no-nonsense capability that has never left the collection, and the 12-4-270, returned to its historically correct 36mm diameter in 2021, is perhaps the best explorer Rolex has made in decades. The simple black dial with its 369 Arabic numerals and Mercedes hands is a study in functional clarity, and the oyster case in oyster steel is polished and finished to Rolex's immaculate standard. The caliber 3230 movement provides 70 hours of power reserve and exceptional magnetic resistance. Number 6. Rolex Milgauss Lum 16400. The Rolex Milgauss Lum 16400 is the most unconventional timepiece in the modern Rolex lineup, a watch with a fascinating scientific heritage and a distinctive character that sets it apart from every other reference the brand produces. Originally developed in 1956 for physicists and engineers working in high magnetic field environments at research institutions like CERN, the Milgauss is engineered to withstand magnetic fields of up to 1,000 Gauss, a specification that gives the watch its name. The 11-16-400 features a distinctive lightning bolt, seconds hand in vivid orange, a detail that has become the Milgauss's most recognizable signature, and dial options that include the mesmerizing green sapphire crystal variant, a Rolex exclusive that gives the watch an electric, otherworldly quality unlike anything else in the catalog. The caliber 3131 movement, housed within a soft iron inner case that shields it from magnetic fields, is as technically interesting as it is reliable. Number 5. Rolex GMT Master 2 11267 BLRO. The Rolex GMT Master 2 11267 BLRO, known universally in the watch world as the Pepsi, is one of the most coveted and immediately recognizable sports watches ever made. The red and blue ceramic bezel that gives the watch its nickname is a direct reference to the original GMT Master introduced in 1955 in partnership with Pan American Airways, designed to allow pilots to track 2 time zones simultaneously. The 126710 BLRO brought the Pepsi colorway back on an oyster bracelet in 2018 after years of exclusive association with the Jubilee, and the result was an instant icon. Demand that far exceeded supply and gray market prices that reflected the watching world's appetite for it. Number 4. Rolex Submariner date 1266 LN. The Rolex Submariner is the most famous watch ever made. That statement can be debated, but not for long. Since its introduction in 1953, the Submariner has defined the category of the luxury dive watch. Every competitor in the field exists, consciously or otherwise, in its shadow. The 126610 LN, the current generation black-dialed, black-bezeled Submariner date, is the purest, most essential version of that legend in production today. The 41mm oyster case in oyster steel sits on a 3-link oyster bracelet with the glide lock extension system, one of the most comfortable and thoughtfully engineered bracelets in watchmaking. The unidirectional rotating bezel features a Cerachrome insert in black ceramic, virtually scratch-proof and color-stable across a lifetime of use. The caliber 3235 movement delivers 70 hours of power reserve, and the watch is water-resistant to 300 meters. Far beyond what any recreational diver will ever require. Number 3. Rolex Daytona 11-16-500 LN. The Rolex Cosmograph. Daytona 11-16-500 LN is the most desirable watch in the world. Again, this can be debated, but the waiting lists, the gray market premiums, and the auction results all point in the same direction. Named after the Daytona International Speedway in Florida, the Daytona was introduced in 1963 as a professional tool for racing drivers, a chronograph optimized for measuring average speeds over a given distance. The 11-16-500 LN, launched in 2016 with a black or white Cerachrome ceramic bezel, transformed the Daytona's desirability from considerable to stratospheric. The tachymeter scale on the ceramic bezel is etched and lacquered in gold, providing vivid contrast against the matte surface, while the subdials, in contrasting black or white to the main dial, create the iconic panda or reverse panda configurations that have become cultural touchstones. The caliber 4130 movement, developed entirely in-house, is widely regarded as one of the finest automatic chronograph calibers ever produced. The Daytona 11/16/500 LN is a watch, a legend, and an investment. The Rolex Daytona 11/16/500 LN retails for approximately $1,650 USD. Number 2, Rolex Sky Dweller 326934. The Rolex Sky Dweller 326934 is the most technically sophisticated watch in the Rolex portfolio, a horological tour de force that packages two genuine complications into an oyster case with a characteristic Rolex emphasis on practicality and ease of use. The Sky Dweller features an annual calendar, which correctly accounts for the varying lengths of months, requiring only a single manual correction per year in February, and a dual time zone function displayed via an off-center disc at 6 o'clock, showing the hour in a second time zone without cluttering the main dial. The ring command bezel is perhaps the Sky Dweller's greatest innovation, a patented system that allows the wearer to select and adjust functions by rotating the bezel, simplifying the interaction with an otherwise complex watch. The 42mm case in oyster steel with a fluted white gold bezel and Jubilee bracelet on the 32693V4 creates an impression of refined authority, and the caliber 9001 movement, one of the most complex ever produced in-house at Rolex, runs with total reliability beneath that composed exterior. The Rolex Sky Dweller 326934 retails for approximately $2,950 USD. Number 1, Rolex Yachtmaster Doan, ESEOIC EOS2, Illinois Lawn 661. The Rolex Yachtmaster de C, Indida CDOIC2, in Align 6681 claims the top position on this list not because it is the most famous Rolex nor the most collected, but because it is the most extraordinary demonstration of what Rolex is truly capable of when it commits fully to horological ambition. The Yachtmaster 2 is a regatta chronograph with a programmable countdown function specifically designed for the starting sequence of professional yacht racing, a complication of genuine technical complexity that took Rolex years to develop and patent. The ring command bezel, which on the Sky Dweller adjusts calendar functions, here programs the regatta countdown sequence from 1 to 10 minutes, synchronizing precisely with the starting gun. The caliber 4161 movement powering this function is one of the most complex and impressive movements Rolex has ever produced, featuring a mechanical memory system that allows the countdown to be reset without stopping the chronograph. The 44mm two-tone roll-sore case in oyster steel and Everose gold on the 116681 gives it a presence and warmth that marks it out as something genuinely special in the Rolex lineup.